In a quiet French village, we stumbled upon an eerie abandoned manor at the end of a desolate street. Its dark history sends shivers down our spines. Viewer discretion is advised. More than 3 years ago, the dead body of Jorge Brion, a 53-year-old dentist, was found in his expansive 19th century manor. His lifeless form was wrapped tightly in plastic, with a deep cut in his wrist and evidence of being restrained around his neck. Brion was not an ordinary man. He had a humble upbringing, but fought his way to wealth and high regard in society. He was a lover of everything chic and glamorous. His opulent estate stands as a striking testament to the architectural style of the 1800s, boasting ornate designs, sweeping staircases, and rooms that seem to echo with stories from his illustrious history. What was once a symbol of luxury has now become a haunting reminder of a tragic event that happened to its owner. The investigation quickly intensified when a 30-year-old man, romantically linked to Brion and a frequent visitor to the home, was arrested and imprisoned for the murder. At the suspect's home revealed Brion's wallet, but his phone remains missing, adding another layer to this dark tale. Was this a tragic accident or something more sinister? The motive remains unclear, and the town has been holding its breath, awaiting more details from an upcoming press conference that promises to shed light on this mystery. For 3 long years, silence has enveloped Brion's once lively mansion. No relatives, no real estate agents, nothing. This grand place has faded into oblivion until today. Join me as we enter this grand mansion, embarking on a journey to reveal the secrets hidden within its abandoned walls. Welcome back everybody to the Bros of Decay. I'm Leslie, and behind the camera today is not Danny, but actually, I will turn around. My friend Moreno is joining me today.
Hello everybody.
And he's with me exploring in France today again, bro.
True.
It's good to have you here.
It's been a while. I'm very happy and excited to be back again, exploring, and also of course doing this together with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we've done it a lot in America and also apart from in Europe.
You've been through a lot, and I'm happy to see you here again, man.
Yeah, man. It's been a ride, but hey.
Yeah. So yeah, me and Moreno are exploring this abandoned place together, and it's absolutely a crazy story about this one, and I'm really excited to show you this wonderful place.
Yeah. Story is pretty morbid.
Yeah, so a little bit more about this place. It used to be of the man called Jorge, and he was a person from Argentina. I cannot really pronounce that properly, but he was a Spanish person, and he has been found dead here in 2020 by the police. He lived alone in this enormous mansion. Today I will give you a grand tour throughout this place and tell you more about this horrific story. Let's start the video. So let's start over here in the hallway of the place where the people came into the house. And as you can see, this person already put up a lot of art pieces over here. He only lived inside of this mansion for the last 1.5 years before he was brutally murdered, we believe. His exact cause of death, or who did it, or how it happened, is not known, but I will tell you a little bit more about it throughout this video. For some weird reason, the whole hallway is filled completely with things to renovate the house, and it's like a giant mess over here. I really adore the spiraling staircase behind us, but that's something we're going to take later to the top floors of this place. There's even this bust standing here in the hallway on top of this marble pillar. The person that owned this place, Jorge, he was a clinic, a dental clinic he had. And at a certain point, his employees noticed that he wasn't coming to work anymore. And that was the point when they alarmed the police. And then they came to search his house here. Here you can see the last year that he lived in this place was the year 2020. And he passed away on February 17th. Okay. Must have been such an amazing place to walk into. We're gonna show you the first room of this wonderful household. And there's no room to mess with. This is, to my opinion, one of the most beautiful and charming rooms I've ever seen in an abandoned place. Have a look at it. I think it was some sort of a leisure room, you could call it, but I'm not 100% sure. Mr. Jorge, the owner of this place, was definitely into collecting antiques, and he also loved fauna and flora. As you can see, there are a lot of plants throughout this room, and just in general, very beautiful decorations. I really adore this mirror piece that we have here standing in the middle of the room. This gold-plated base with the marble top on top of it, and then the mirror above it, the wood carvings on the side. These plants, of course, are all fake. They would not have survived for 2 years or more standing here abandoned in this house. Also got a wonderful depiction behind here. And then this beautiful woodwork around the mirror. Look at these sofas that are standing here in the corner of this room. Beautifully red sofas, upholstered, and I can already see a wonderful chateau, one of my favorite chateaus in France, Chenonceau. I visited this once, and he has a pillow lying on the sofa from it. So he was definitely a person who was into all kinds of stuff like that. He was into architecture, he was into history, and you can see it throughout his house. A wonderful chandelier also hanging here in this room above the coffee table. Wow. It's just amazing. This is a very prominent piece. I think it's a tapestry, no, it's a painting. It has been worked with this molding around it, this beautiful design around it. Very typical piece for these French manors and these French castles. And Mr. Jorge moved here because he was already 50 years old when he bought this place, and he wanted a very nice place in France to retire to and to come live. Lots of knickknacks on top of the fireplace. Are these the churches from St. Petersburg? I'm not 100% sure about that. It looks amazing. Marble fireplace that's for some reason completely falling apart. I think this is some sort of a shower hose. It's very heavy and I have no clue why it's laying there. A painting over here on the wall of these angels holding up books. Wow. And another one, a very similar one to the red one we saw before. Then we got it in this beige color, this upholstery chair. Absolutely wonderful. And of course, I think Mr. Jorge also used to come here and just play this piano into the night. He would enjoy himself sitting here. Let's have a look if it still plays. Wow. It's still very much tuned, but it also has only been 2 years since this place got abandoned by the very unfortunate reason. A big red Buddha standing here on top of the piano. And all these plants scattered over it. Look at this piece, it's a grand piano. Something that belongs in a castle. Wow, see the brand? Of course, made in Paris. It's, I think, a pretty new piano, to my opinion. And then we got this little cabinet here in the corner, the mirror above it. Oh, a pendulum standing over here. Wow. Wonderful. See what's inside of here. Of course, all the plates where you served his guests with are all still left in here, waiting for another time that Mr. Jorge would give a dinner, but that's never going to happen again. Excuse me, I'm struggling with his name a lot. And then we have the dinner table standing here in the corner of the room with 2 chairs around it. He lived here completely alone. He didn't have a wife, he didn't have children. Here we can see a picture, a painting actually, from the outside of the house. Wow. It looks beautiful from the outside, you just saw it, but I think it's absolutely magnificent manner. A very big mirror standing here above this fireplace, above this fake fireplace, I must say. Wow. Japanese artworks to the side, and a grand chandelier above the table. What a wonderful room, everybody. Really adored showing you this one. Okay, let's now move back into the hallway because we're gonna go further throughout this house and see what more we can find of the history of this place. So much rubble laying here in the hallway. I first want to go down here. I think behind there might be the kitchen of this place. I'm not 100% sure though. We have this privacy screen lying here on the floor, completely ripped apart. Everything in this house is so strange. Okay. Little doorways leading to everywhere, and this very small doorway underneath the spiraling staircase leading to another room inside this house. Yes, like I told before, this used to be the kitchen. Oh my gosh, this is an enormous mess. Look at this. Oh, the fridge is even open. I don't even have to open it anymore like I normally do. But have a look at that. Everything is still inside of there from the moment that he used to live here. All the pots and pans are still over there above the cooktop. Smells horrific, I must say. For the people that don't know, this is a very special device. Hot coals will be put inside of this basket, and then it would be put at the end of the bed to warm up the feet at night. Wow, so much stuff still inside of this kitchen. Oh my, look at the mess inside this fridge over here. It's absolutely terrible. I don't know where this door, this door over here leads to a very small toilet, as you can see. I think Mr. Jorge wanted to make something nice in here, but he didn't really succeed in that, and it looks absolutely horrible to my opinion. And it also never got finished. I think he was still working on the home at the point that he got killed actually, or yeah. Here you can go outside of the place. Get a glimpse from the outside. You can even see a bust standing there. But that's for later. Wow, beautiful outside of the house. Let's first go further on the right side of that hallway. Okay, we just did this room here in the hallway to the left of us, but we still have to do the one to the right of us. From the outside, this manor looks bigger than from the inside. Here the lady is watching us before we enter into this room. Oh, there's one thing I noticed before I go in. Look at this. There's a chandelier completely wrapped in paper lying here on the floor. Very strange. Let's see what this room has to behold for us. Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful, beautiful room to my opinion. Wow, This looks like some sort of a sitting area. Again, a lounging area. I don't really see a television anywhere in this room, and it probably was never present. Just a very fancy room to meet guests in or to just chill out at night. Really adored it. You can definitely see from all the artifacts that he was a very, very prevalent and good dental surgeon, and he earned a lot of money throughout his life. Like I told you before, the people who worked from him in his clinic noticed that he didn't come into work for a couple of days, that Jorge didn't come into work. And that was the point when they alarmed the police, and the police came to look inside of his mansion to see what happened. Still a lot of stuff left in these cabinets, a lot of paperwork from his former days. I think I can see a picture. Wow, yeah, this is an old picture. This might have been Jorge, the man we were talking about, and these might have been his parents. You can see that this picture has been taken in somewhere in Spain, I believe, or maybe Argentina. It looks a little bit similar to each other. Oh, he has a DVD from Petra, a place that I've visited. This is in Jordan, everybody, if you didn't know. One of the world wonders. Okay. Upholstery chairs all throughout the house, of course. And a lot of magazines lying here in the corner. I think he also loved cooking. Wow, this was a magazine from the year that he passed away, 2020. Crazy. Wonderful display piece here in the corner. Gold-plated mirror above this lovely table, this lovely corner table or side table. There's even a statue, a wooden carved statue, still standing on top of there, of a blindfolded angel. Wow. And then, of course, here in the middle of the room, you have this sitting area with these two upholstered couches to either side, and then there's a lovely chandelier coming from the ceiling, and really making this room special. I also love the piece on the coffee table, this wooden carved candle holder that's standing here. Have a look at this couch. It's been completely devoured. I don't know how this happened. Was it like this when he still lived here? Because it has only been abandoned for 2 years. And this seems like a lot of decay for such a short period of time. Here we got another pillow from a lovely castle. I don't know this one though, I should write it down. Azay le rideau. Beautiful pillow again. Wow. And then of course, here at the end of the room, we have the fireplace with the mirror above it. Like you always see 2 chairs to either side to have a lovely seat at and drink a cup of coffee or a cognac or whatever you would do. I love that all the chairs complement each other. Wow. And this is a wonderful boost standing here of this lady looking at me. Yes, this is definitely real marble. And then underneath here as well, it even has like a small auction piece on top of a sticker from the auction, I think, on there, the 7th of December, 2019. That's that's only 1 month before he passed away. 1 month and 10 days. No, 2 months and 10 days. Jeez. Couple of faces on top of here. The fireplace down below with even 2 blocks of wood still lying in there. I also adore this drawer that we have here in the corner of the room. I love how it's cracking up, but it's, I think, kind of fake. It even has a signature in there. Wow. Oh, you have a little brochure left here, probably from his dental clinic. Yeah, might have been something like that. It looks like it though. An art piece behind here. People doing some weird things, to my opinion. And then this sort of lantern here in the corner, but looks like a crystallier chandelier. Okay. Cannot stop looking at this bust here in front of us. Wow. And look at all the mess that's been made here in the corner. You can see these are all building materials. And I believe Jorge was still in the process of renovating this place, of making it his dream home, his dream retirement place. But he never finished what he was doing. You can see a lot of parquet laying there, a lot of rolls of insulation, bed frames, anything you can imagine is lying down here, just forgotten about now. His dream got shattered by the person who took his life. And that's very, very sad. I get kind of a weird vibe walking throughout this house. Maybe it has to do with what happened here, the terrible story that happened here, but I don't know. It's just not my usual vibe when I'm exploring an abandoned house. There's no happy vibe at all. So yeah, let's now make our way upstairs up this beautiful spiraling staircase. And let's see where Mr. Jorge used to sleep. Wow, beautiful, look at that. 3-story manor leading up there. And even here in the middle of the hallway, there's this carved statue. It looks like it used to be some sort of a saint. Slated dragon down here, or a mythical animal. Wow. And then we come to the first floor of this house. Let's ignore this for a little bit, and let's first go into this room. Because this, everybody, is the room where the disaster happened, I must say. On top of this bed, Mr. Jorge was found by the French police on the 17th of February, tied up and wrapped in some sort of a tarp. And that was the way he found him. He was pronounced dead on the spot. Why or who or whatever happened here is still a mystery to the French police, and nobody ever found out what happened to Mr. Jorge. You can see there's even a breathing device still to the side here of his bed. And his box for tissues and everything is still there. I must say, I really adore this bedroom. It's quite beautiful. He had a very, very good taste in antiques and design. And he really beautifully designed this wonderful house. There's even this chandelier hanging here above the bed. Wow. And you can see, of course, there's only one pillow on this bed. I'm still wondering what this is here to the right. And I have to have a look, of course. Oh, look at this. He also used to have a walk-in closet. All his suits, all his shirts and everything are still hanging in here from the time he passed away. Wow. This is a wonderful bedroom. Beautiful oak wood closet, still completely filled with paperwork. Wow. Candles hanging there on the wall. Of course, an upholstered bed, an upholstered chair, also down here. Now we got this drawer, the mirror above, and yet again one of those worked-in paintings above here. Those very typical French things of ladies sitting in the garden somewhere far away. He even had a desk here, and I think it must have been wonderful when the shutters were open, when the light was flooding inside of this place. And then he could just peacefully work away here, do his business, write his letters, and do everything he needed to do. And even the fireplace over here in this room, a marble fireplace. The ashes are still in there from the last time he lit it up. I really love these vases that are worked into there, these copper vases to either side as well. Wow. Beautiful molding around it. And these two lamps to either side. Oh, is this a picture? This might have been a picture of his. Look at that. Yes, this looks like this resembles the man we saw on the picture in the other room. Yes, yes. This is Jorge, yes. Here he is dancing with his mother, as you can see. This is the person that passed away on this bed over here 2 years ago. Oh, that's crazy. I haven't had a look on this side table here. Okay, there are some things that I don't want to show on camera lying there. Okay. You even have a bathroom attached to this room over here. See this beautiful sink. Everything is still on there, as you can see. His shaver, his soaps, everything left behind from the day he passed away. Wow. And he sort of made this bathroom into this hammam style, this Moroccan sauna style. You can see he had this wonderful shower in here, this rain shower, a lot of nozzles and everything to either side. Very advanced shower built in, and then this beautiful Moroccan lantern above here. Everything in this very unique style, decorated. Wow, what a room, everybody. What a room. It's one of the craziest rooms with the story that's attached to it that I've seen before. Before we go out of this room, above the door, he also had this wonderful carving, this plate, the flowers carved into it. And then we can go into the hallway. Here also a wooden chandelier is hanging from the ceiling. I saw that there was also sort of a bureau area to this side. And there are a lot of memories left on this table, as you can see. Wow, there's like a big stack of pictures left here. All memories from the time that he lived here. Isn't that just wonderful? This is Mr. Jorge, his mother, and he probably is taking this picture, sitting across from her, having a dinner together with her. It's unclear at this moment who owns this house. We're not sure about that. Also a man who loved nature, as you can see. And he probably, being a very successful dental surgeon, had multiple houses. Here we can see another house. Definitely not the one that we are in right now, but this one is also being restored. Maybe this was also one of his houses. Here you can see another picture from that place. Wow. And I also really adore this picture. Here you can see Jorge standing next to a woman who might presumably be his wife or perhaps his sister. I'm not 100% sure about that. But most likely he conducted his work here, and probably his dental practice was somewhere else, but this is like his accountancy work and everything he would conduct in these rooms, on this room. Beautiful library, bookcase behind here, completely filled still. Here you can see even more pictures of his truly hanging up here. The man sitting there in front of the fireplace. And even his medical degree, his diploma, is standing here in the corner of this room, just like a typical doctor would have done it. Love the wallpaper in this room as well. Okay, I see that there's one more room on these upper floors here that I haven't checked out yet. Let's open it up. Oh my gosh, wow. This bedroom is even more beautiful than the other one we just saw before. And I think this might have been a guest bedroom. Like I told you before, the other bedroom was where George slept. He didn't have any children, he didn't have a wife, so this was probably where he invited people over to. Really adore this bed here with the chandelier hanging in the middle of the room, the bed still made. It looks like the mattress is too small though for the bed frame, but yeah, I love the encavement, it's very French. And the Mona Lisa hanging above the bed here, as you can see. Her typical smile that she gives. Wow, it's a very beautiful bed. Love the wood carving around it. the gold plating. I think you also have sort of a walk-in cabinet over here. Let's see what this room has to behold. Oh, this is more, it's definitely the bathroom, but for some reason, again, it's completely filled with stuff. Wow. Lovely lady hanging on the wall. And then in every room in this house we have already seen there's a fireplace. I have not seen, oh yeah, there's also central heating in this house. But this one is built in the 19th century, and at that point probably the central heating was not present in the house yet. Might have been added on later. I love the vase that we have standing here on top of the fireplace. And this chair, I saw a picture from somebody from this chair, and I knew I had to get to this house to see this particular piece of furniture. I had never seen an upholstery chair like this in this shape before. I think like you can sit inside of here and it's like a little cocoon for your body, and I really love how this one is made and designed. Wow, this is such a beautiful piece, to my opinion. I just want to show you every single angle of this amazing chair that we have in front of us here. Wow. So many unique pieces all throughout this house. I, for example, also really adore this upholstery chair that we have standing here on the ground next to the coffee table. Wow. Another gold-plated mirror above here. It looks like a depiction of a man carved out of wood. This is some sort of a corner piece that will be in the corner of the room. And then a drawer underneath there. A beautiful wooden drawer. Lots of Chinese and Japanese antiques also all throughout the house. Let me give you another overview of this wonderful room before we go further to another room inside of this house. Let's go further because we have to still do one more level inside of this place. And let's see what we have on that last floor inside the house. Oh, I already see a lot of stuff over here in this hallway. And again, this is probably stuff from the renovation. Mr. Jorge was not done yet creating this house, creating his masterpiece. And he just had left it behind. He didn't leave it behind, he passed away. He got brutally murdered, and yeah, it's so sad to see. There's also a bathroom up here. Maybe he wanted to make another guest room on these upper floors of the house. You can see there's also a bed underneath here. A chandelier hanging here. Maybe when the former owners lived in this place, it was still in very good shape, and then Jorge came here, ripped everything out and wanted to start over, but he never got to do it. There's even a wonderful fireplace inside of this room. And looking beneath the rubble, you can see antique pieces everywhere here. Absolutely crazy. Oh, this used to be a chaise salon, I think, or a bed frame, but I'm not sure which one of the two it is. Let's see what this room has. A couple of chairs, a couple of other things scattered throughout here. Whoa, I almost fell over there. And then on this side you can even see that he was completely ripping out the walls, creating an open space here. And he was trying to do something with this room, but never succeeded. He even ripped off all the wallpaper. And even put in these lights as well, as you can see. This was all work of Mr. Jorge before the 17th of February 2020. Okay, before I'm gonna leave this place behind, I also want to give you a glimpse of the outside of this wonderful place. And that we can do by going through the door here in the kitchen. Okay, I shouldn't fall, but let's see. Okay, I just already briefly showed you this, but now I'll show it more in depth. Okay. Wow, it's like a little patio outside where you could sit and enjoy a nice cup of coffee in the morning. You also have this boost standing here outside. Look at that. Looks like a lawyer, an old French lawyer. I think we can go on the side of the house here, to the front. There's a lot of rubble standing everywhere. This old radio, for example. But from here, we can go to the front of this place and see what it looks like. Everything has completely overgrown. And those 1.5 years, no, those 2 years that this place has been abandoned. Front of the house, beautiful front side. Wow, the plants are literally taking over it. Yet also a fountain here in front of the place. Oh my gosh. Beautiful house that Mr. Jorge bought himself. And with a very large piece of land surrounding it. You could make some amazing gardens around this place if you wanted to. I love walking around here. He had this all to himself. Maybe it was somebody who was jealous of his success that did what he did. That's just terrible, to my opinion. So everybody, we made it to the end of the video, the end of Jorge's life and the story that we just told you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, it was a very sad story to tell, but it's something that we have to do and that we have to bring out into the world. If you liked it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and write a nice comment in the comment section. There's also a link in the description for Patreon, there you can support the channel. And with that all said, I want to thank you so much and I will see you next week in another amazing episode. Bye bye. I love you.